All right, what is going on today, chat? What up? What up? We are in trying times, but we will make it through. 69. Pay all due respect. Welcome in. Welcome in. Another day, another Wednesday, another grade review. Whether you're watching me on YouTube or TikTok, what up? What up? So, a lot to talk about, guys. There's a lot going on as a Pokemon collector. What the hell is going on? You know, I think it's just way too crazy. So welcome in, guys. Austin, welcome in. Question mark, welcome in. If it's your first time here, welcome. We're about to do some grade review here. And I just have to, there we go. Perfect. Waffle, welcome. So those of you who are new here, welcome. My name is Galaxia Gaming, and today we are doing episode 50, the Big 50, on what could be the last stream of TikTok. Who knows? It's really crazy right now. So, but we're gonna keep pressing through. So what this stream is all about is you guys, the community, will send cards to me through the Discord, and we're gonna review them. We're gonna see what we think they're gonna get potentially as a PSA grade to help you guys out. It's completely for free, so it's a good way, instead of just spending money on submitting a PSA and then coming back a grade you probably didn't want. This is a good way to kind of have the community kind of check for you prior to making that decision. So again, welcome in, guys. Appreciate you hanging out with me on a Wednesday, and we're just gonna get right into it, right? Enough yapping. Let's just show you guys what this is all about. So first off, we are working with NVM Buy, who has submitted this Dark Charizard and another Charizard for today's submission. So normally how we work, Doug's, thank you for the follow. How this works is we are going to review the 4 main grading criteria of PSA, Beckett, CGC. Any reputable grading company are going to use these 4 criteria, which is going to be, drum roll please, corners, centering, edges, and surface. So we're going to consider all 4, both on the front and the back. And if we have at least 15 users or more combined with YouTube or TikTok, which I am multi-streaming right now. Again, if you guys are on TikTok, I recommend following over on YouTube as well, just in case if this is the last time you see me. We're going to do a chat vote. So I'll let you guys vote on what you think it is, and the collective vote will be ultimately the chat grade. And then after that, I'll give my grade, and then that's how it works. So you'll get 2 grades, potentially. So let's look at this Dark Zard. So we're going to have 2 tools today. We're going to use the infamous magnifying glass so we can really see the details of these submissions. So for example, we can see a little bit of a scratch there by the Charizard's ear right off the bat. In addition, we get to do a little draw action just in case if I need to highlight specific areas that I am looking at, such as this scratch. It kind of helps you guys as the viewer see what I am looking at. So without further ado, let's get right into this Dark Zard. So the centering looks pretty good, all things considered. It is, relatively loved. The bottom does appear to be a little bit thicker. So when we're looking at centering, some people ask me this from time to time. So normally what happens is we are looking for as close to a 50-50 ratio as possible. So the top and the bottom here. So we want these to be 50-50 as much as we can. So for example, if this is a 1/2 inch on the top, it should be a 1/2 inch on the bottom. And Therese, thank you for subbing over on YouTube. Appreciate you. B-Bald, how do I send a picture in to review? Just let me review this Dark Charizard and I will let you know how to submit. It's super easy. But if you want to just go into my link in bio and my link tree, you can just check out the Discord is how you get to there. But if you need more info, I'll help you out. So that's basically what we're looking for the centering here, the top and the bottom. So the bottom looks a little bit thicker than the top by just a smidge. So as we look at the corners actually look from the front look in pretty good shape, to be quite honest. So that's looking good. The text is looking good. And really all I'm seeing, which is as to be expected, to be quite honest with you, is scratching in the hollow section. So we have some by the ear there and some more of like a darker part underneath the wing. So now we have to flip it over. And this is where we're probably going to see most of the issues, and it is definitely popping up here on the corners and edges. So all this whitening on the edge here, the bottom left corner, the bottom edge, the right edge, pretty much all four corners and all four edges have notable whitening on them. Additionally, there are some dirt marks here on the back as well. So we do have to consider that when we are looking at the surface grade. So I'm just taking a look here. We have not hit the requirement for chat grade. So if you guys don't mind helping me by following, sharing, and liking the live, whether you're on YouTube or TikTok, to hit that 15 or more goal, I definitely would appreciate it. So as we wait for that to hit, I'm going to then do my assessment on this dark Zard. So the front, like I said, corners and centering is pretty good. Really the only thing that I notice, again, is just the scratches on the hollow section. So right now we're kind of dancing in the more of like the near mint to light play area just on the front alone. Yo, first live. How's it going, Gaz? Welcome in, my friend. So on the front, yeah, we're kind of in like that near mint to light play on the front. So we're looking at more of like a 7 or a 6. You found your Dark Zard today. There you go. Let's go. So on the back, this is where most of the issues are going to be become apparent here. So on the edges and corners, it is pretty significant whitening, to be honest with you. Now we're definitely out of the near mint territory, which if this is your first time here, normally when I say a card is near mint, I normally equate that to a PSA 7. And again, I strictly talk about PSA 7. That's just the most experience that I have for grading specifically. We just hit 1K likes on TikTok. Thank you guys so much. So we're kind of already out of that near mid PSA 7 range, and we're already, in my opinion, we're already starting to kind of get out of that light play area, which would be like a PSA 6, because just for the fact that all four corners and all four edges have noticeable whitening around them. However, based off of what I saw on the front and what I'm not seeing on the back and not seeing on the front is that there are no there's no bends. There's no bends or major creases, which honestly, I was kind of expecting to see this. Super underrated channel. Gaz, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. But yeah, I don't think it's heavy play. So I think, in my opinion, this is probably hitting that moderately played sweet spot just because of the damage more so on the back. So in my opinion, I would probably think that this Zard would most likely get the PSA 5, in my opinion. So let me write that down. So the Dark Zard would get a 5, in my opinion. And so, like I promised, B-Bald, if you guys want your cards to be reviewed, and this is a completely free service I offer every Wednesday. All you have to do is go to my link in bio or my link in description, whether you're watching me on YouTube or TikTok tonight. From there, you'll see a link tree. So just click that, and then you're just going to click or tap this Discord icon all the way on the right side. From there, you're going to be redirected to the Discord, and then ultimately you'll see a grade review channel. From there, you just submit your cards in the grade review channel. Just make sure to follow the rules that are in the pinned messages of that channel. Once you've submitted, that's it. It is first come, first serve. With a limit of 5 cards per person per stream, you can submit it, again, as many as you want, but it will be limited to 5 per person per stream. However, if you want priority grade review and want to support me as a creator and to invest more into these streams to make them better for you guys, the Discord server also offers subscriptions starting at $4.99 a month, which again gives you not only priority grade review, but some other cool perks as well. So definitely check that out. I appreciate you. Dingus, thanks so much for the roses. Pedro, thank you for the follow over on TikTok. Appreciate you. I know, Jay. It's crazy, man. I definitely appreciate the good vibes, man. I really do. I put a couple of cards in the Discord a few days ago with other members commented on. Does that mean it will be checked? Yep, I'll still check it, Gaz. I mean, it's, at the end of the day, people are still, open to have a discussion, which is kind of nice, to be honest, that I'm really appreciative that you guys are kind of helping each other out in those spaces, which is really, really nice. But queue for free grading is already over, right? For today, yes, it is. But again, the faster you submit the cards in the grade review channel, the faster I'll get to them. But again, if you want priority, because there are some people who, go to shows or are trying to get like good grading plays on eBay or something like that. People will send me messages such as like the general tier offers on-demand grading service. So I will be playing Pocket tonight. I got a lot of fun decks queued up for tonight, Fergus. But I appreciate all the love and support, guys. We're already at 2K likes over on TikTok, so I definitely appreciate you guys. Who knows? This might be the last one. Who the hell knows? But anyway, let's look at this Charizard EX. So this one on the front is a little bit rougher, as we can probably tell here. So as we look more so on the bottom and the top, centering, again, pretty good. It's just really the bottom that's probably slightly thicker than the top. But that's really not the main focus, to be quite honest with you. It's a lot of these kind of like dings and scratches and whatnot on the top edge here, as well as the bottom. You got that bottom left corner, the bottom middle, and all these little dings across the card. We're even starting to see scratches. And normally for these textured cards, if we're able to see scratches, it normally means based off of just this, we're obviously looking at one picture specifically, but the fact that we can see a scratch on this textured card means that it's pretty noticeable in person, most likely. It's been super good in the Discord. That's awesome, Gaz. That's really, I'm glad that you're finding some value in it. Where can we follow you if TikTok goes down? So all my links are in my link tree. So if you go to my bio, right now I'm streaming over on YouTube. I have intentions on streaming over on Instagram for the short form, as well as I'm streaming on YouTube, and I'll probably go over to Twitch as well. But yeah, all my links, all my socials should be in my link tree. And wow, that back is a pretty rough, I will say. So we got pretty noticeable whitening, obviously. It's honestly kind of looking to be a little bit more yellowed, which is not good. So all four corners, all four edges. I think honestly this top right corner is probably the best looking one, to be honest. Ella, thank you for the follow over on TikTok. Thank you. So the surface actually looks pretty decent, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, the front and the back the back is looking pretty rough. So we have successfully reached the chat grade goal. So we have a combined 15 or more concurrent viewers on TikTok and YouTube. So what that means is now you guys as chat can weigh in on what you think this Charizard EX would get. So wherever you are, either on YouTube or TikTok, all you have to do is type in !grade followed by the number. Again, that's !grade followed by the number on what you think this card would get as a PSA grade. So again, !grade followed by the number. Here is the front of the Zard. And here is the back. And if anyone needs me to flip it over, let me know. And while you guys are voting, I'll probably give it for another minute and I'll catch up with chat. Card has been kept in a pocket. Yeah, this is truly the this is Pokemon TCG Pocket in real life, Gaz, for sure. This is the IRL TCG Pocket. maybe Bro didn't understand the assignment. Maybe. Who knows? But again, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. We'll give it another 30 seconds for you guys to vote. Again, it's !grade followed by the number. There is the front, and there is the back. So thank you for hanging out with me. At episode 50, we've been doing this 50 times every Wednesday. We have definitely come a long way, and I wouldn't be able to do it without you guys. So appreciate you, all the love and support. That's what I'm saying, Trash. That's what I like about it, to be quite honest with you, because I think that was probably the biggest thing that I noticed about the community is that there's so many people who just say like, oh, I open up a card, here's the PSA 10 price. And very often that is not the case. So what happens is that a lot of speculation comes into the hobby, like pop control or manipulation of grading and whatnot. And, for the record, obviously PSA, because I can only speak on PSA, they're not accurate 100% of the time. But I'm always wary of people who quickly just kind of say pop control on stuff, just not knowing what the card looked like before they committed to sending it to PSA. So, but when I'm done with this Charizard EX, I'd make sure to educate you on where to go, my friends. Just give me 1 second. So I'm wrapping up the poll right now. So just give me 1 second and let's see what you guys are thinking. So you guys, as the collective hive mind that is chat, you guys are thinking, drum roll please, you guys are thinking a PSA 4. So chat is thinking a PSA 4. So now that we have chat as PSA 4, now it is my turn. Let me write that down before I forget. Beautiful. Okay. So now, what do I think this Charizard EX would get? So as I said before, the bottom and the top is really where most of the issues are. So we have some dings and dents on the top there and on the bottom. In addition, there's a little bit of peeling going on in that bottom left-hand corner, so that's not very good in terms of the corners and the edges. We also have a little bit of a scratch here by the colorless energy in Stoke. But other than that, from what we can see on this, not too bad. But it's really when we flip it over is really where it's starting to kind of collapse in terms of grade. So we have significant whitening here on the top. You know, we're already out of that moderately play area, to be honest with you, both on this top part and this left side. In addition to a little bit more on the bottom. Not as bad as the top and the left, but still pretty noticeable. This right edge, however, is actually pretty solid when compared to the other three edges. The surface does appear to have some mild scratching, but again, the kind of the same thing saving the other Zard that we looked at. There's really not any major creases or bends in the card, which is kind of not a good thing, to say the least. So you know, we're definitely in that mod play to damage range. So I would probably say, because of the lack of any bends or anything like that, really the only thing that we saw was just kind of this peeled, like this slightly peeled up section on the front bottom left. I would probably say that a 3 would maybe be a little too aggressive, to be quite honest with you. So I think that you guys are pretty spot on, that I also think that this would probably get a PSA 4, unless there's any more issues with like the front that we're not seeing just based off of the picture. But I would say that a PSA 4 is a very solid guess for sure. So let's see. Ricky, thanks so much for the follow. Question: one dent on otherwise pristine car is basically a 9, right? I guess depending on the size of the dent, Trash, more or less you're correct, I would say. If a car is pulled straight from a pack sleeve top loader, is there any way it gets less than a 9? It just really depends, I would say, on the centering and the corners, to be quite honest with you, Dingus. But yeah. All right, so never mind. Thank you for that submission. Let me just jot this stuff down. So, because what I like to do for you guys too, if you're not able to catch a stream, what I've had start doing is actually make sure that I write down the grade that we wrote down for you. So just in case if you can't make it, it's totally okay. You will know what it is. In addition, all these VODs get immediately uploaded over to my YouTube, which I'm currently streaming on right now. So just in case if you need to find me, if the TikTok ban does go through, all my socials and everything is in my link tree in my bio. So let's see. So we graded that one. So next up, ooh, we have some Master Balls. Here we go. From Parlay Guy. Or is that, hold on. Oh, I skipped one. There we go. No, here we go. Glazer, right? Yes. So we got the Vaporeon. We got some Tag Team. We got just a bunch of stuff from all over. Ken C, thank you for the follow. Possible to get 10 with a Hollow Bleed on edge of card. Yeah, I would say so. Based off of what I've seen, Hollow Bleeds are an officially recognized error, so it wouldn't take away from the overall, like, meaning that it wouldn't impact negatively from the overall card's condition, if that makes sense. Now, however, you know, if you're talking about like a cut that's like extremely off center, you know, if it was miscut or whatever, that is going to a degree. Because it's something like physically taking away, kind of like what I kind of coined like the fifth category of grading, which is eye appeal. And so if it's kind of like in towards the negative space of eye appeal, that's kind of where you start to see the grade actually be impacted. But I would suspect that a Hollow Bleed wouldn't impact the grade. All right, so let's keep on keeping on. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. Appreciate the likes, the follows, and subs. And let's keep this thing going. So Vaporeon, the Master Ball, which is pretty sick. So let's take a look. So for modern, so we looked at a bunch of, you know, what I kind of consider vintage, especially for the Dark Zard and the Charizard EX, but more so with modern. The big things that we're really going to be looking at, again, I kind of mentioned this, where a lot of people are so quick to think that if it's pack fresh, then it must be a 10. the two biggest things that I see where modern will kind of make or break a 10 or sometimes even make or break a 9 is the centering and the corners, more so on the back for the corners. So we're going to take a look right now. So the centering, from what I can tell from this card, looks in pretty good shape. Additionally, with this being reverse, I'm also looking for print lines. And to be honest, I'm not really seeing any print lines. Yes, I can zoom out, Trash. Thank you. So we'll kind of do this a little bit. So I'm not really seeing any noticeable print lines on the reverse holo specifically. So far so good there. So when we flip it over, I think additionally, I think this is probably a good 10 contender. Both the top corners and the bottom corners do not have any notable whitening from what I can see. The edges look good. The centering looks good. The only thing that I don't know is whether or not someone would have to check this, because I don't know if this is actually a part of the artwork. I would say no, but you might have to wipe this off, whatever that is on the bottom. So this is a good point. So if you leave something like this on a card, or if this is stuck to a card, PSA will not remove that for you. I've seen a few folks think that they will if they see something stuck onto it, and there might be a grader or two that might kind of do it quick, or it just naturally just falls off on its own. But just assume that they won't. And if they don't, it will impact the surface grade. So always make sure to wipe stuff off like this, because you want to, take as much away from the card that would impact you negatively as you possibly can. So if we can remove that, as long as that's not part of the artwork, which I don't think it is, then this should be a pretty good 10 contender, in my opinion, for the Vaporeon. So next we got yeah, it's tough, Dingus. And again, not a lot of people know, and it's complete. There's so much to know, man. There's so much to learn, and there's so much to pay attention to. So, okay, Lucario and Melmetal. Tag team. Tag teams are always very popular, so let's take a look at this. So the centering for these cards specifically, and I like to bring this up every time we see one of these, and kind of reflect, you can never stop learning. And one of the things I've learned when grading these cards specifically is I thought that these thick black lines kind of in the middle section of the silver, I thought these also had to be like very well centered even within this space. And that is not true. The only reason why I'm saying it's not true is I personally have submitted cards of this GX era that have this kind of black line in the middle of this silver border, be very kind of close to even the artwork or closer to the edge on one side or the other. But the silver itself was very well centered, and they came back as 10s. So that's kind of where I'm leaning more towards when I make comments like that. So when we look at this, the centering actually looks pretty decent on the front, on the left and the right. The only thing that I'd probably check, to be quite honest with you, is more probably on the bottom. I don't know if it's just like the angle in which the picture is being taken, but the bottom looks a little bit thicker than the top, possibly. But as long as we're in, again, that 60-40, but I'm more conservative when it comes to centering on the front, especially. It's more like 55-45 ratio, then you should be good. But aside from that, I'm not seeing any major scratches on the front, which is good. And then on the back, really the only thing I'm seeing on the back is just, you could probably just wipe that off with a microfiber cloth. These little like white specks, they just kind of look stuck on there. Sometimes that happens when a card comes out of a pack or something like that. Additionally, the same thing down here in the bottom. But it does appear to be well centered on the back. So I think if you can remove these white dots on the top middle here and the bottom left, in addition to just double checking the centering from the bottom to the top, I think again you have another 10 contender. So I think that's good there. And we're just about to hit 4K likes on TikTok. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. And again, if anyone needs to know, I can't remember, I often say it a lot. So if anyone needs to know how you can submit your cards for free for a future grade review, definitely let me know in chat, whether you're watching me on YouTube, hanging out with Gaz, or watching me on TikTok. Tom, thank you for liking the live. Appreciate you. So let's look at this Illustrator Rare. I was looking at something and I just stopped talking. So we're looking at the Illustrator Rare Psyduck. So let's see. I've seen these GX tag team cards get a 10 with awful front centering. Yeah, I hear you, Al. I hear you. Especially with that black kind of like sub border, to be quite honest with you. Okay, so centering on this one looks pretty good. I don't see any print lines because, again, this card is a lot of like sometimes I kind of like to call it like hollow to Pokemon ratio, meaning that the Psyduck is so small compared to all the hollow surface on the front of the card. And so there's a lot of print lines that could potentially be here, but from this angle specifically, I'm not seeing any. Knight, what's your opinion on print lines that show up the back only under direct flashlight? So I have actually seen a few of those, Knight, on certain streams where it does look like almost overexposed to where it really jumps out at you. And so depending on the severity, to be quite honest with you, I haven't had enough submissions on my own that kind of had met that only criteria, which would result in either a 10 or if I thought it would be a 10 or a 9, to be quite honest with you. But I would argue that some of the things that I have seen under a microscope, which I've done on cleaning streams in the past, of like very minute or very small scratches that you can only see at very exposed light, do pretty well. So depending on the length of the scratch, I would probably say that if it's a kind of like, you know, maybe within like a half an inch or something, it probably won't be that bad. Or if it's very light, then it won't have that significant impact. But it's kind of a gamble at the end of the day. I know that was a very long-winded answer of me just simply saying I don't know, but that's based off of the experiences that I've had and just kind of doing this grade review stream. Dingus, thanks for the follow. I appreciate you, man. And the roses. Thank you so much, Dingus. All right. So the back of this card and the corners of this card actually look really good. So I think if you don't have any print lines on the front here, I think you have a pretty good shot at a 10. Because there's really nothing wrong with the front and the back from these two pictures. So I think that's a good contender as well. And then the gold Rayquaza. I always like the look of this card I always like the look of these cards specifically, to be honest with you. Corners look good. The right edge does appear to be a little bit thicker than the left here. So where I like to look, because obviously you're not looking here, right? So it's really just here, right underneath the claw there on the right side, compared to the left. It does appear to be slightly off center from the right to the left. How do I send my cards to you to tell what you grade can get? Yeah, Tyler. So all you have to do, since you're watching me on TikTok, is go to my link tree, which is in my bio. From there, you'll be redirected to here. You just have to click or tap the Discord icon. From there, you'll join the Discord and discover the grade review channel. You can submit as many cards as you want in there, completely for free. But it is first come, first serve, and I'll review up to 5 cards per person per stream. However, if you want expedited grade review and to support the channel, the Discord also offers subscriptions starting at $4.99, which will give you priority in addition to some other cool perks like exclusive emotes and discount codes for my online store and some discount codes for some other places and more entries for future giveaways. So a lot of fun stuff. And again, for you watching me on TikTok with everything kind of going on, you know, I'd really appreciate if you guys follow me also on YouTube, which I'm currently multi-streaming on as well. And all my other socials are in my bio as well. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, and let's continue on. So the centering on the right side is a little bit thicker than the left, but aside from that, it's pretty good. And we can kind of see, and I bring this up a lot. So a cool little tip that I like to give is if you're ever kind of wondering about whether or not something is or is not off center, in most cases, not all, but most cases, is on the right side. Like, so for example, I'm thinking that this right side is a bit thicker than the left. So if I flip this over, how the cutting procedure goes, in most cases, it'll also be thicker on the left side. So on the right side, it's thicker. So if I flip it on the left, it is also thicker here as well, right? So this left side is huge. Logic, how's it going? Hello, welcome over on YouTube land. What up? So yeah, it's super thick on that left side. It almost has like a little, almost like a shift here. Like, let me try to kind of highlight this a little bit for you guys. So it's almost like we got a little bit of an angle going on here, which is very interesting. So it's like here's like where it'd be straight, and then it kind of goes downward at an angle, which I think is very interesting. So I'd probably say with the mild off center on the back, I would say if the backside, which I think it would be, to be honest with you, I don't think it would get the 10, just because of the centering on the back. Because you're thinking like I think 70-30 is what it should be on the backside, for where it wouldn't be considered a 10, and I think you're outside of that range for sure. So I don't think that this Rayquaza would get the 10. Although you have your Vaporeon and your Psyduck already potential 10 contenders, so not that bad overall. So we got C. I'm not even gonna pretend to know what this card is. I just know it's gold. Centering looks good. Corners look great. A little bit of a curve here. And one thing that I will say about these curves, so if you ever have a card like this that does have this kind of almost like, you kind of see it if you leave a card out for too long, and it gets a little bit of moisture or it just kind of starts to curl a little bit. The easiest way to address something like that, just as cheap, budget friendly as possible, is if you take a card like this, put it in a penny sleeve, and then put it right in the center of a heavy book, and then put some more weight on top of it. You can kind of leave it there for a few days, and then over time that weight will try to flatten that card out a little bit more, which will ultimately help your surface grade vastly improve. Because if you were to submit something like that, there might be a potential that the surface grade would be severely decreased, which would result in your overall grade going down pretty significantly, to be honest. I've had cards that have just had surface issues that are kind of curved like that, to where, you know, it takes it down from like a 7 to even a 6 sometimes. So just make sure to do that if you ever have cards like that, so you're about to submit. Because again, pop-up PSA will not do that for you. No way it will with that. It's probably an 8. Oh yeah, I don't think if in this condition, like in this kind of curved condition, I don't think it would get the 10. But I think if you could, because it looks well centered on the back. The only thing that I probably check, but it might just be more of the lighting than anything, is what appears to be a little bit of whitening here on the top. But to be honest with you, I don't know if that's just part of the lighting or not, because the top left corner, bottom left corner, bottom right, and top right corners look really good, and the surface looks good. So I'd say that's probably your homework for this card specifically, if you're looking for it to get graded. It's just to check if this is whitening. If it is, you're starting to distance yourself from more of like a guaranteed 10 to more of like a long shot 10. But the biggest one is that this card would need to be flattened out for sure, for that to have the best shot for you. So we had so to recap, we had the Vaporeon as a 10. We had the Lucario as a 10, I believe. So is Eve 10. And then what was it? I'm trying to think. Did we get the Lucario the 10? I can't remember. Oh, it was with the dots. That's what it was. So that was pending front centering and white specks on back. And then the Psyduck was a potential 10, because that one looked pretty good. So that was a 10. And then the Ray was most likely an 8. Just submitted them. Nice, Tyler. And then Pokeball, probably a Evo 9, and that was pending playing flattening. Perfect. All right. So now we just hit 5K likes over on TikTok land. Thank you guys so much. All right, next up, we got one chill guy here with a really nice assortment of cards and very well lit, which is very helpful when we do these streams. Is the better lighting you guys can provide me, the better I can try to assist you, and chat can assist as well. So let me clear out that submission. And again, if anyone else is new here, if you need me to go over again how to submit your cards for free, just let me know in chat, whether you're watching me on YouTube or TikTok. So next up, we have the Pheasantipity EX. So let's take a look. Modern. So really, we're kind of looking to make or break a 10 here. So let's hope for the best. And does anyone know? You know what? I haven't quizzed you guys yet. So who in chat wants to predict why I do not think this Pheasantipity would get the 10? Does anyone in chat, whether you're on YouTube or TikTok, does anyone know why I do not think that this card would get the 10 just by quickly looking at it? Classic. Yes. Yep. Both YouTube and TikTok got it instantly. The centering is no bueno. This right side is dummy thick. Absolute thickness, absolute madness on this right side versus the left. So unfortunately, and you can honestly see a little bit on the top there too. So unfortunately, I do not believe that this Pheasantipity would get the 10. Depending on the centering, I don't even know if it'd get the 9, to be quite honest with you. That centering is pretty wild. All right, next up, we are looking at the Mega Rayquaza, all the way back from 2015. Plus I think it's unsleeved in that top loader. So right now, all these pictures were confirmed that they're outside the top loader currently. But I hope, like what you're saying, Trash, I really hope that they were in a sleeve. So yeah, this looks pretty good. I would say probably my shipment should arrive to you tomorrow. Awesome. I'm actually going to, now that you're in here, Apple, I'm actually going down to the store on Saturday to pick it up. So just keep that in mind. But I'm super stoked, man. I'm super stoked to have the privilege to work with your cards. So thank you again for doing that. So the bottom is a little bit thicker than the top. So where I'm looking, right, kind of where this like gold part of my, like where the mouse is, that's where I'm looking. There's a lot of clutter here, but ultimately this is where I'm looking compared to the top. So the bottom looks a little bit thicker than the top. And as we flip it over, we do have some mild whitening on the back. So we have what appears to honestly even be almost like a nail imprint, which is like a fingernail imprint on that top right corner there. We do have a lot of issues here with the whitening, but not bad though. Like I say, I kind of blew that out of proportion. It's not as bad. Top left, a little bit of whitening here on that edge, on that left edge. A little bit on the bottom left here, the bottom middle, and a little bit on there as well. So let's see. We actually do have enough for a chat vote. So let's give chat an opportunity to vote on this Mega Rayquaza, because I think this one is probably a good one, especially for the back, to see what you guys are thinking. So I will open it up to chat. So again, if you want to vote on what you think this Mega Rayquaza EX would get, simply type !grade followed by the number. Again, that's !grade followed by the number on what you think this Mega Rayquaza EX would get. So here is the front of the Mega Rayquaza, and then here is the back. Most of the issues that I'm seeing are more on the back, so I'll just leave it here. If anyone needs me to flip it over, just let me know. So while you guys are voting, I'll keep it open for another minute here. I'm just going to catch up with chat because I saw some good comments floating around. Might sound silly, but how do you measure with a ruler without scratching or causing damage to the card? I would say, Gaz, that probably the easiest way, to be quite honest with you, would most likely be to keep the card in a penny sleeve and then just put a ruler on top of the card, obviously gently, but have a ruler that has like millimeter markers. You can use a centering tool, but the more and more I've been doing more centering, honestly the millimeter tool has been a little bit easier for me, to be quite honest with you, because you just have to do some quick math. But yeah, just keep it in a sleeve and then just gently put a ruler on top of it and just kind of measure from one side or the other. Do you know the process PSA uses to grade? I mean, I can't, Knight, I can't first say that I don't know the exact tools that they use, but I feel like I have a pretty good idea. meaning that they'll use a microscope, because you got to think these guys are looking at thousands upon thousands of cards a day, just one employee. So they're going to use tools like a microscope that kind of helps with eye fatigue. They're going to have really good lighting to see all these different imperfections. But I don't think that they're going to just, well, people are probably going to argue with me, but most of them do not just simply pick up the card, kind of look at it back and forth, and then just say, oh yeah, that's what I think it's going to get. But yeah, guys, that's what I would do. Okay, so you guys are, from the few of you who voted, you guys are thinking an 8. So the chat vote for this mega is an 8. So chat, you guys are thinking 8. So now, what do I think this Mega Rayquaza would get? So the front, I think, from what I can tell, the only perceived centering issue that I see is from the bottom to the top. So that's all I see on the front. Now the back is a little bit of a different story. So the big ones that I see in terms of issues are these bits of whitening up here, which are fine. We're still kind of in that near mint plus range here. Got a little bit of whitening there, which is totally fine. Here, a little bit here, and what appears to be, but I can't say for sure if it's lighting or not, but just in this section, and let me just save that real quick, and hopefully it doesn't go away, but if it does, it's not that big of a deal, is this left edge. So it almost has a little bit of whitening on that left edge, but I really don't know if it's because of the lighting. But the one thing that I'm really kind of fixated on, to be honest, is, well, that can probably be removed on that end. I'm not really worried about that. But it's this right here, right where the tip of my mouse is. And I'm just going to zoom in a little bit more, is right here. So this almost, to me, looks like someone put their fingernail in the card somehow. I don't know if it was because they're trying to drag it out of the top loader or something like that, or this little bend here in that top right corner. But in most cases, if I am seeing something like this, it's gonna lead me to believe that it's probably not gonna get a near mint plus grade. I would probably think that it would probably, like, most likely get the 7, just from because I've been looking at 7s like crazy recently, and I've seen some that have even been a little bit worse than this. So I think depending on that, you're probably looking at a 7. And then depending on the depth of this, because there is some light kind of overexposing this, you might get the 6 because if it's like really deep in there. But I'd say best case scenario, you're probably looking at a 7. Worse, you're probably looking at a 6 for the Rayquaza. So chat, you guys were thinking 8, and I'm thinking around a 7 or a 6, depending on that little bend there. Not a bend, but kind of that indent. Yo, Giant, what's going on? I'm doing good, man. Hopefully all is well. Hopefully all is well. Char, how's it going, man? All right. So next up, we got the Lugia EX. We got like the Heart Gold, Soul Silver. We got the XY era. A lot of good stuff. Hello, hello. Sounds good, Gaz. I appreciate you hanging out. Appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys hanging out with me over on TikTok. Tyler, thanks so much for the follow. So let's take a look at this Lugia. So, and Joshua, thanks for the follow. The centering looks pretty good. Yeah, it does look pretty clean, Apple, to be honest with you. Hopefully it's the same on the back, because the corners look pretty good. Corners look good. The centering looks good. No issues on the front. Do you have any prismatic packs for 40 by chance? They're 50 now. I mean, I was lucky enough to have 3 ETBs ordered when they gets released. But one of the things I'm going to be talking about tonight was Pokemon, the Pokemon Company actually making an announcement that they, like, quote unquote, officially recognize the demand for prismatic. So they're going to hopefully do something about it. So I don't know. What set is this from? That's a good question. Ancient Origin. That's what Google Lens tells me. And welcome in, Nikolai. All right, so the back. So the back, we got some issues. Not a crazy amount, but we do have some. But yeah, I'll go over that announcement and my thoughts towards the end of the grade review section, because I think it's important. Because it's, yeah, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself because the set hasn't even come out and people are trying to buy this stuff like crazy. But we have a little bit of whitening there on the top, but not bad. We do have what appears to be almost like those pack folds, where you can kind of see a little bit darker here, but the corner looks fine other than that. So I'm just kind of looking at this left edge here. A little possible whitening there on that bottom left-hand corner, and then something, probably a little bit of dirt or something stuck on that bottom right corner. Centering is off a little, but may still be within that 65-45. Yeah, on the back, I'd probably agree with that, Apple, for sure. But the right side looks good. Surface looks good. I think if we just get rid of that, you know, you're probably looking at, you know, because the front is like, I'm really trying to look for like an issue with the front. And again, the texturing makes it hard. You know, we're looking at it on a computer and you guys are looking at it on a phone. But it is tough. It is tough. The front looks pretty good. The back is a little bit, kind of has some issues with it. But the question is really, it's like, I don't think, just based off of the card that we saw previously, where I'm kind of thinking that was more of like a 7. If we can kind of get rid of this here on the bottom right, you might be within kind of that even going towards the 8, in my opinion. But let's see if we have enough people in here. But let's see. So if you guys want to vote real quick, exclamation point grade followed by the number on what you think this Lugia would get. Again, that's exclamation point grade followed by the number. We'll do a little vote here. Dirt. But got some 8s flying around. Got some 9s floating around. Got a bunch of stuff. Yeah, so you guys are more or less leaning more towards the 8 as well. Yeah, so I would say, you know, if we can probably get rid of, because really my big thing is what appears to be kind of this like pack fold in the top right, and these kind of more noticeable bits of whitening here on the top corner, in addition to what appears to be some whitening in that bottom left corner as well. So if I take it so you guys can actually see what I'm talking about. So this section right here. And then if we can get rid of this, which I think, I have a feeling that we should be able to. I feel like you can get rid of that. I think with just those bits of whitening on the bottom left and on the top, I probably would agree that this would most likely get the 8 because of it. But the front is super clean, though. That's a very clean Lugia, without a doubt. And then next up is the Noctowl. Got a lot of cool stuff. What's the guy going on there? It's got some hoarding some pins, got some berries in there, got some pine cones. Let's take a look. Centering appears to be good. Flip it over on the back. I don't know. Well, right now, so Apple, I from what I saw from confirmation, this is sitting on top of the top loader. So this shouldn't be in a sleeve or top loader or anything like that. But really the only thing I see, and I don't know, you guys might have to comment here, is if you guys think that there is some whitening there on the top right. I don't know if it's, I'm just kind of zooming in too much to where it's starting to kind of obscure the picture. But from what it looks like, we may have some potential whitening here on that top right corner. Which I think is like the fact that I have to zoom in so hard for us to even think that there's something there may or may not lead to being there. I don't really know. But let's see. But aside from that, I think the centering is, I think you're still kind of within that range. So I think you should be good. I think, yeah, you're thinking the light too. So I'd say like it looks good. I mean, I think the centering is within, especially on the back. I think we're kind of good. Good there. But I'd say if there is, just for it being a promo, probably not even worth it. I don't know. So I'd probably say that if this is not whitening there on the top right, you're probably good. Especially with like the centering. I think we're still within that 65-45 on that left side. Potentially, it does look a little bit thicker, but I think because of the back is more lenient than the front, that I think we should be good. But just kind of keep that in mind. Is there any way I could get a free review? Just pull the 1K Gengar VMAX prize stamp, and I don't know what I should do with it. I should grade it or not. Well, first, that's amazing. Congratulations on pulling that. That's really cool. But unfortunately, I can't kind of offer like a quick on-demand free grade because the moment I kind of open that door, then I really can't close that door. Unfortunately, I hope you understand. But I would say if you want to submit it in the grade review, there's been a lot of really good, helpful community members kind of commenting on each other's stuff in the grade review channel. So like I can't like look at it on stream, but there has been a lot of you guys that have been super helpful in the Discord. Just kind of giving, you know, like a community, like almost like a live chat grade almost. So I appreciate you understanding, but that luck is amazing. Congratulations on even getting that. Next is the Cuffant. Let's take a look at this bad boy. No major print lines from what I can see. Centering looks to be pretty good. Probably check the right side, but I think you're within that's 55-45 or 60-40, to be honest with you. Again, maybe a little bit thicker on that left side. We kind of said, so it was a little bit thicker. What proposed to be on the right side is now more confirmed what I was talking about before. It's a little bit thicker on that left side now as well. Additionally, and let me zoom in here again, I would probably say that this is whitening here on that bottom there. So I'd say in which case for this card specifically, I'm hard to believe that you probably would get it, get the 10. So I would probably say no for that one, because of those two factors, like the centering on the right side on the front, the centering on the left side and the back, which I think the back would probably pass, but the whitening on the bottom right, just the card's like not that expensive, and it probably wouldn't be worth grading to begin with. But that's just kind of my 2 cents there. So, we just hit 9. Man, I gotta pay attention. 9.2K likes. Appreciate you guys. And again, if you guys, to be honest, I don't know what's going on with the whole TikTok thing. So if you guys want to not see me poof forever, and I don't want to see you guys go poof forever, definitely check the link tree in the bio. I have all my socials. I'm currently streaming on YouTube as well. Might pivot to Instagram and add Twitch on there as well. So just make sure to kind of stick around if you like what you see and you want to kind of stick around if something does happen to TikTok. I definitely would appreciate it. I would say with modern specifically, Giant, it's not as so much as like 9s don't really like mean a lot. It's more of just for the modern print quality today, when folks are trying to purchase those PSA like for PSA graded modern stuff, you know, they're really looking for 10s at the end of the day. And it's not outlandish to get a 10 in a modern just solely for the fact that print quality is so much higher than it used to be. And that's why you can kind of see too, like honestly, for like modern, like if you're a ungraded collector, looking at 9s or even 8s are even a really good play to purchase them at pretty much near mint or sometimes even less than near mint prices, to crack and just put into your own personal collection. To be honest, that's what I've started doing with I'll oftentimes buy PSA 7s for that exact same reason. So, which I actually showed off on Monday's stream. I cracked a bunch of, well, I didn't do it during stream, but I cracked a bunch of PSA 7s. Next up, we have Red Rider. So let's take a look. We got the Spiel. The roly-poly-oly Spiel. Centering looks good. From this angle, I do not see any print lines, which is great. And on the back, I think this is a really good contender, my friend, to be quite honest with you. And now I know, looking at another Japanese card, that dirt mark that we saw in the beginning is not there on this one. So I would say this is a pretty good contender, pending that there's no print lines on this one for sure. How does one submit something to him? Well, user 702-864-3155-288. This is how you do it. So if you're watching me on TikTok, which you are right now, you just go to my link in bio to the link tree. Just go here and click or tap that Discord icon, which you'll see in the top, along with my other ones, just in case if TikTok goes bye-bye. From there, you'll go to the Grade Review channel and then just submit your cards there. It's completely for free. It is first come, first serve with a limit of 5 cards per person per stream. You can submit as many as you want, but I only review up to 5 per stream. But if you want to have it so that you have priority grade review, because I stream every Wednesday, the Discord server does offer a subscription starting at $4.99 a month, which includes, in addition to priority, you get some exclusive emotes in the channel. You get to support me reinvesting back into the stream. Get some better odds at giveaways, a bunch of cool stuff. Am I in the queue? Well, I did post the queue for today in the Grade Review channel for episode 50. To be honest, Giant, I can't remember what your Discord name is, because sometimes people have them be different, and I don't think I put you in here if your name is the same, to be honest with you. All right, next up we have Axew with another. The Zards always coming in hot. So let's take a look. And boy, howdy. I think we got another one, chat, to where a little bit thicker on one side than the other. And that left side is probably going to make or break you regarding that 10 potential, because that left side is a bit thicker. And again, like I said before, if you ever wonder whether or not your card is off center, sometimes if it looks to be on the front, it translates to the back. So in this instance, we have a little bit of thickness on the left side, which does actually transfer to the right as well. So it's a little bit thicker on the right side as well. So I think as a result of that, I do not think this would get the 10 just merely because of the centering. I think it would get the 9, but I do not think it would get the 10. Because centering's rough, man. Centering is always rough. Next up, we have Dusty with, wow, guys, could you believe it? Another Zard. Wow. So let's take a look. So their question, though, I think they had a special question. Just bought some bulk cards from Marketplace and found this in there. Any thoughts on if it's worth sending into grade? What grade might it get? Last picture is the card bent, not me bending it. All right, let's take a look. So a little bit bottom heavy. The left and the right looked fine. With this reverse, you can clearly see some scratches already towards like the energy section. So let me just kind of highlight that real quick. So right in here, you see that little scratch there by the energy, by the fighting energy in the text here. So it's not a 10 by any means. We also have some more scratches here and next to the energy burn. So far, not good. But it's pretty mild, to be quite honest with you. But that left edge, a little bit rough, I will not lie. So let me kind of zoom in for you guys just to make it a bit easier for you to see. So we have a little bit of some issues here on that left side, and you guys can't see it. Hold on, let me just zoom out one. There we go. So we do have a little bit of some issues here on that left side. In addition to some whitening, some dings and whatnot. But yeah, I would probably say the front is not too bad. But additionally, I would probably say that, again, the book thing should kind of come into play here. If that is a little bit of a bend, flatten that out with a book. I'm not really too worried about that. But I think ultimately with this kind of almost having like a degree of road rash, in addition to some of the scratches in this hollow section, you're probably looking at a light play contender. So more likely than not, probably a 6, in my opinion, for this Zard. Just from some of those points that we were just kind of highlighting. So man, another Zard has failed the gauntlet. So let's see here. So we have Paradox, we have Meme, and we have the Untold. So let's take a look at Paradox's submission. There's some cool ones here. We got a lot of really nice variety tonight, which is really cool. I'm not just memeing, even though we just probably reviewed 7 Zards in this stream. But we definitely got a good little range going on. So this Arceus V-Star looks very well centered. Let's see. Let me zoom in just a tad for you guys to see a little bit better here. So the front looks very well centered. The back looks to be in pretty good shape as well. I think this probably is a bit of fuzz, just how it kind of looks there, so I'm not really worried about that. Centering looks great. I would say this is a possible 10 contender for sure, if you can kind of get rid of whatever that fuzzy is. It looks really well centered. I don't see any issues with the texture on the front. I don't see any issues with like whitening on the back. Definitely good. Oh yeah, Zard definitely showing up for episode 50 for sure. Can I send you one to review? Yeah, you can. I won't be able to review it tonight though. I just want to be transparent with you because the queue is closed, but you can for sure submit it in the grade review channel. All right, next up we got the Mewtwo V-Star. This has actually been seeing some movement as of late. Char, thanks so much for following. I appreciate that. Again, very well centered from what I can tell. Maybe the bottom, probably just check that out, but I don't know if it's just because of the angle of the picture. But it looks well centered. Corners look good. And then based off of what I'm seeing here, looks to me that it's good. I don't see any issues with the corners. It's really pretty straightforward, pretty standard. Yeah, I mean, it looks great. Mewtwo V-Star was next on my purchase list. Card's going to go up. Yeah, it's a cool looking card. It's a really cool looking card for sure. I think Crown Zenith is just a great set. And this card is definitely no exception. Did I look at this one already? I did. And then next from Paradox was this Giratina, which I think was a Hollow Bleed, which is cool. Oh, for sure, Nikolai. For sure. For sure. So let's take a look here. The edges look a little bit off. So we got a little bit of folding there on that top left corner. Got a little, it's just pretty much the sides are a little bit rough. You can kind of see here, but it is really cool. Just curious about the new features you mentioned for subs. Yeah, Judd. So for subs over on Discord, the starting rate, which is the cadet tier at $4.99 a month, you get priority grade review. So every Wednesday, I always review subs first, followed by non-subs, which we're currently going with now. You get some exclusive emotes for that tier. You get more entries to future giveaways, and it just overall just helps me support the stream and just reinvest back into the stream. And so as you go up higher into the tiers, so you have the pilot tier, which gives you pretty much everything in cadet, in addition to some other things like the radar channel, I believe, which is if there's cards that you're looking for and I'm at shows, I actively pick them up for you at the condition that you're looking for. Or folks get early access to cards that go up on my website for sale before they go live to have a chance to pick them up before they go live. And then you get more submissions, and then general, which is the highest tier, you get on-demand grade reviews. So if there's a card that you're looking at, say, hey, I want to purchase this, it's a good grade play, and you need a response like as soon as possible, That's what that tier is for. I have one, his name is Turkish, who is a general subscriber who takes advantage of that, and it's actually really cool. Say like, hey, I'm looking at this card, I'm looking to get it graded or whatever. Is it worth getting it graded? And I just say yes or no and give my opinion on it, and then Bob's your uncle. So yeah, hopefully I didn't put you guys to sleep, but this Hollow Bleed shouldn't put you to sleep, because we got some Hollow Bleed here by the 50, which is really cool. Always like the Hollow Bleed stuff. Definitely well loved, that's for sure. A lot of scratches, a lot of dings, a lot of bends. We even got like a bend down here, you know. So with that bend, oh yeah, Judd. Sorry, I keep forgetting like that people's, you know, general like their Discord name and their TikTok names are different, so I apologize. But yeah, there's a lot of new features and stuff in there, Judd, for sure. And if you need to, just reach out to me directly, and I can for sure kind of point you into some of the other perks that I'm adding as well. I try to make it worth your while. So we got some stains up here. I mean, this is probably, you know, it's not, if it was more bent, I'd probably say like probably a 3 or even a 2. But you're probably looking at a 4 would be my guess for this one. Because I think you can probably get rid of that stain. That bend is really kind of taking you back, and a bunch of other stuff. So I'd probably say a 4 for this Giratina. Because not any significant bends or anything crazy like that. So I think you're chilling. So me, myself, and I. With evolutions. Evolutions are going insane. Everyone loves them. So let's see. So centering looks to be pretty good. Corners look good. Surface looks great. I do think I would measure it, but the right side of this looks a bit thicker than the left, in my honest opinion. Which I think would probably carry you away from, in addition to you got to wipe that off too. But I think if it's not within that 70-30, because it does look a little bit thicker on that right side, to where I don't think you'd get it because of that, because it is pretty noticeable, to be quite honest with you. But again, the ruler will tell all. I would say measure it on your own. But that right side is really where I'm kind of like, ugh, that might not be good. But who knows? Maybe the ruler will prove me wrong. Let me just check these off here. And then the Lugia from Neo Genesis. The big bird himself. Let's take a look. Centering looks good. I think from this shot, it's a little bit overexposed in this section, so it's kind of tough to really kind of narrow down, to be quite honest. But let's zoom in just a tad here. Because this is where it's infamous for Lugia specifically, is this blank section, because normal types are already very difficult to grade to begin with. And this isn't making it any easier. This huge section of hollow is always what takes these Lugias back from like a really good grade, which makes it very hard to get a good grade on these Lugias. And this is no exception. You see a lot of these scratches kind of by the mouth here. And it's tough to see in this lightened section, but by the mouth, you can kind of see some scratches. Got a little bit of a dirt mark there. But that's really all I see on the front, which is actually pretty impressive. Now for the back is where we're starting to see a little bit more kind of going on here. So we have this, I'm gonna try to highlight it the best I can here. Let's do this actually. Zoom in just a tad. And then so we see these bits of whitening here on that top part, which are pretty significant, to be honest. So that's definitely going to take us away from a good grade. But yeah, I would say from the amount of whitening, I would say if this wasn't so solid across the top, you probably would be looking at a 7, to be honest. But I think just from the clustering of scratches that are presumed to be in this section, because we're kind of seeing it by the mouth, and on the back with this kind of whitening on the back, I would personally, if I had this card in my possession based off of what I'm seeing, I would most likely list this as light play which would equate to a PSA 6, in my opinion. So I think this Lugia would probably get the PSA 6, in my opinion. But again, it's a great chase card. People absolutely love Lugia for obvious reasons. It is very popular. So that is going to do it for the grade part. Now, one topic that I really want to have a conversation about is this one. So let me see if I can just do this here. Open image in new tab. And of course, it's going to be super small. That's awesome. Yeah, the Lugia was great. Like, if you got a really good deal on it, that's still amazing. So let me see if I can shift it here. Yeah, so if you guys have not seen this, this recently came out today. So I think everyone here, especially from this channel, knows that prismatic evolution has been a significantly hot topic in the Pokemon community space, right? You have people showing off hundreds of ETBs on social media, live streams, everything like that. I've seen, and I kind of joked about it in the Discord, you see rip and shippers having it for like $25 or $30, basically having everything just labeled I don't make the price, and having their chats kind of flame them for buying out stuff and being scalpers. It's been crazy. Overall, it's not a good look for Pokemon specifically, right? And another thing that someone brought up with live streamers getting a huge amount of allocation that traditionally, back even with during COVID times like the pandemic, was next to impossible to get distribution to a person who simply doesn't have a brick and mortar store. But now you're kind of getting away from that altogether, which is very odd and to a degree upsetting. So what we saw today with this statement, so basically in a nutshell, if you haven't read it already, I'm going to keep it on screen here, is Pokemon in a nutshell has recognized that there is a clear demand, which is kind of silly that they're just realizing that there's a demand, but that's another topic, to where they will be printing more. And the other thing that I think a lot of us are, it's very hard to set aside the fear of missing out or FOMO to recognize that this set hasn't officially come out yet, right? So they're seeing all this stuff. They're hearing a lot of these cries from social media, from content creators, from all these folks, and they more or less, they were kind of pressured to have to make a statement like this. And we haven't seen a statement like this, I think, since probably Clayburst over in Pokemon Japan, when boxes were going like 100, 200, like absolutely insane for Iono. And then what they ended up doing was they met the demand, and those cards went into a reasonable place where people and collectors could actually purchase them and enjoy them. And I think that's what we're seeing with this set, hopefully. And I have to be like bold and underline hopefully, because we don't know, it's all speculation, right? But at the end of the day, we don't know if this was just merely PR pressure from the community for Pokemon to acknowledge that this is insane and that they were kind of forced to say something as generic as this statement. But at the same time, if even distributors are seeing some of these pain points, you would hope that the manufacturing should just simply meet the demand, especially after COVID, where Pokemon purchased I forgot the name of I think they were called Millennium Printing, I think it was called, in the United States, where they can print essentially to demand within the US. So it's not like it needs to be out of Japan to print this stuff. It can be printed within the US. And so at the end of the day, guys, it really is just do not cave to FOMO. And I know, I think if anything, this has shown me truly the power of FOMO. And as long as we just, kind of stick with it and just know that at least Pokemon has acknowledged that there's an issue, we only can hope that they will do something about it. In addition, the set hasn't come out yet. So once it does, and once those cards start to get kind of released and whatever, hopefully prices will start to go down and we'll see a little bit more of a manageable market when that stuff does go through. So hold tight, guys. At the end of the day, do not cave in to fear of missing out. I know it's hard. And the other thing that I saw too, I was watching a PokeRev stream before I started streaming today, and the pull rates for this stuff is next to impossible to get an evolution, which is ultimately what people are trying to chase after. So it's tough. So I would just say hold on. You know, don't let fear of missing out dictate what you do with your money. And don't pay those crazy insane 3x MSRP prices. It's just not worth it. You know, it's just not worth it. So that's kind of my 2 cents on it. So let's see if there's any other news here. We got the McDonald's Dragon Discovery promos coming out, which is kind of cool. Got some, hopefully no sweats are gonna stumble over people trying to buy a Happy Meal, but we know what's gonna happen. Who knows? People are gonna suddenly show interest in wanting to become McDonald's employees, probably. The hollow pattern looks cool. Going back to the old McDonald's promos, which not like old, but I like that they stay consistent with it, to be honest. And then Furret fans are eating. So in Battle Partners, which is another set that Journey Together, man, that was another crazy experience, you know, with the site literally crashing within seconds of people trying to pre-order Journey Together on the Pokemon Center site. It's just not a good look. At the end of the day, it's not a good look, and Pokemon just simply needs to recognize that they need to print a demand. Because I really don't want my theory from Monday to be true, where, you know, Pokemon Pocket has made them so much money and they don't even have to print cards physically. It's like I still want them to care about the physical collector a little bit. But this fur is sick. Can't wait to break my diet for the McDonald's. I know. Gonna go back out here with Super Size Me just to get Pokemon cards. And what else? Just a lot of TCG stuff. We got a lot of just general Journey Together announcements. But that's pretty much it. You know, it's just hold tight, guys. Do not fall into FOMO at the end of the day. The set hasn't even come out. I would not fall the victim to it. So, but anyway, now it is time for the next part. Now it is time. We need to practice, chat. We need to practice for the upcoming Pocket event. And while I get that ready, we're going to go to just chatting. So what up? This is your first time seeing me, which I think most of you who are still here have been around for a while. So here's the Galaxia Gaming office with the wall of Pokemon behind me. So let's see. Oh, we haven't played Pokédoll today. What's wrong with us? We haven't gotten stomped out yet. All right, guys. We need to dial in. I think we've gotten Classic. We haven't not been doing good with Classic, I will admit. So we gotta lock in here. So someone in chat, just guess a random Pokemon from Gen 1. Has to be from Gen 1. Anyone at all. We'll see if you get it. And we can start from there. A Gen 1 Pokemon guess. All right. Doug Trio. So it's a monotype, second evolution, taller than 70 centimeters, but less than 33 kg. So taller, maybe not in a cave, and it's not brown. Maybe a rat. Okay, so they consider that brown. So Eradicate and a Dugtrio are the same height. But it weighs less than 18K. Okay. So it's not a ground, it's not normal, and it's a stage 2 that's super light. Huh. What's a light stage 2? I mean, no, Venomoth poison flying. Pidgeotto I feel like is pretty heavy. A stage 2. A stage 2 who is very light. Stage 2, not in a cave, not in the grasslands. It is not brown. I got that very clear. But it's actually pretty tall. Taller than Eradicate, taller than a Dugtrio. If you guys have guesses, by all means, save my ass. So let's see. I'm cheating. Looking at the wall. A very lightweight stage 2. A lightweight stage 2. Dodrio? Let's try it. Normal typing. But it's taller. Yeah, I forgot that it's Dodrio is normal and flying. Let's go with what's a light Pokemon? Like super light. Super light stage 2. That's taller. Ah, you're good. Let's do Seeking. Let's see if we get water at least. So it's near water's edge. So it's near the near the water's edge. That is not a water type. You did, Tyler. Yeah, I just finished it. Now I'm trying to not embarrass myself by trying to figure out what the hell this Pokemon is. Because it's not a Dugtrio, it's not Eradicate, it's not a Dodrio, and it's not a Seeking. But it's a stage 2 that's a monotype near a water's edge that is not brown, red, or white. That apparently is less than 18 kilograms and taller than 1 meter 80. So what could it be? But near the water's edge. But it's not white, because I would say like Dragonair, but Dragonair is white, or it's like blue and white. But near the water's edge. But it's not water. Is Gary? You're talking about Gyarados? I feel like Gyarados is heavy. I feel like Gyarados definitely weighs more than 18 kilograms. You're good, Apple. I'm just doing like. I feel like it weighs too much. That's what I'm saying. Right now we're trying to guess a Pokemon, Apple, so it's all good. But it's not water, and it's near the edge, the water's edge. Near the water's edge. But it's not a water type. I mean, but it's not white though. Man, this is tough, chat. I don't know why these like always fry me, dude. I'm a fake fan. I'm a fake fan. Because it's not a water type, but it's near the water's edge. I don't know. I have no idea. Let's see. At this point, I'm just going to start guessing. I'm trying to guess what this Pokemon is. So basically how this game works, Apple, is that you just type in a Pokemon and it'll tell you like how close you are. So it's like Wordle, essentially. It's like Wordle, but with Pokemon. So we guessed. So basically what we have is that it's a monotype because it's none. It has no second typing. It's near the water's edge, but a stage 2 evolution. But it's not brown, red, or white. Or it's not a water type. Even though it's close to the water's edge, it is not a water type. So I feel like I just have to start saying stuff. All right. So apparently, chat, this thing right down the belly of the Dragonair is not white. The more you know. This thing is not blue and white. It is just straight up blue. There you go. We got it. That is a Hypno. That is a Hypno. All right. Blank is said to possess the genetic composition of all Pokemon. It is capable of making itself invisible at will, so it entirely avoids notice even if it approaches people. That would be a Mew. Ooh. I want to say it's a Nidoking. A Nidoking or a Nidoqueen? I'm going to say Nidoking. There we go. So I'm telling you, the classic is what got us. We had to get that in 5, but the other ones, boom, boom, boom. Like clockwork. Like clockwork. All right, it is time, chat. It is time to hang out with the homies and play some Pocket. Because we need to prepare. We need to prepare for the upcoming event where I cannot lose 5 times in a row, which is, oh, like the last time we had this event, like incredibly stressed me out. Like beyond stressed me out. I was like, man, like, am I going to get it? Am I going to get it? Am I going to get it? And I was like, no. Like at the end of the day, I did end up getting it, but it was closer than it should have been. All right, let me... Nope, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. There we go. Just setting this up real quick, chat. And we got it. There we go. Beautiful. All right. What deck you rocking for Pocket? Well, I will show you. I have several. Let's get all my scenes here. And then this one was... Got too many windows open. Because this was cast. Oh, that's not it. There we go. Yeah, the queue was closed. Or we finished the queue. Is what I meant to say. So queue is closed. And now we are just big chilling with chat. Trying to figure out what we want to play. What we want to play for the Pokemon Pocket event. Because I have some decks that that I've been kind of trialing here. So what do we have? So we have Probably the one that I've seen in my like what I've had have the most success, which is the Starmie Vaporeon Articuno, which has been pretty good. We have the Celebi, but my coin flips are trash. We got Pikachu. We got the Alakazam has been really fun. But and then Charizard has been great. But I really like the Volcarona. I really like Volcarona. Does a lot of because right now the meta is just everyone setting up back row. But yeah, we got some pretty good ones. Let's do one that I've been enjoying recently. But it's not like crazy meta, but I love having a Hitmonlee just destroy a Magikarp. That is like probably the best feeling in the world, is to have that happen. And then if I get my cards Saturday, when will you clean them so I can set them aside? I would say it'd be nice for me to get them addressed either Saturday or Sunday, depending on how my schedule pans out, to be honest. But I'll definitely let you know, for sure. I'll let you know. Or I'll let the Discord know. Okay. But for those of you who are big Pokemon Pocket fans, I have a really fun idea coming up. So if you have Pokemon Pocket and you play the PvP, definitely stay tuned for an announcement I'm going to be making here in the following weeks, which I'm super stoked about. Which involves me actually playing against some of you guys, so more to come on that. I always like keeping an extra Hitmonlee, but then I just get whatever. Red card me, I guess. But yeah, I'm super stoked to look at your stuff, Apple, for sure. Because you'll technically be the second person I do card cleaning for, which is really be cool. The infamous Bellsprout. And the moment I get to drop, all right. So now he's going to have to burn. So let's see. So we'll just put a little bit of spice on that guy, because we can potion the Hitmonlee if we need to. And we're just chilling. We are chilling. Can't evolve. Can't evolve as Bellsprout. We're big chilling. All right, so we got the Pidgey. So you still can't evolve, but I also don't want you to get the Executor EX online, so we're gonna heal you. And you are... So I'm gonna have an advantage over you anyway. And just Executor EX is just such a pain to deal with. Yeah, we're just gonna do that. Because you can probably just retreat it. I don't want that to really happen. Okay, so there's the Execute. So now you can't evolve the Execute, which I feel like he's starting to realize right now. I think he's slowly processing. I think he's slowly processing that he cannot evolve the execute. And yeah, we win. But I've had to do that. I've had to like audibly tell myself out loud when I see the opponent playing a Aerodactyl, I have to consistently say out loud, I can't evolve, I can't evolve, I can't evolve, because it's so easy to forget. It's so easy to forget. And I've done it. I have done it more times than I probably care to admit. A little bit of some Celebi action. Ooh, and we got the old Amber with the... So I didn't see that at first, for whatever reason. So now let's pick at that Celebi a little bit with the Pidgey and see what happens. So we'll throw a little spice on that. Do a little bit of... Just start chipping away a little bit. Get some damage on board. Okay, so we're at 120. So we basically want to try to put him back. We want to have him stay at 80 as much as we can. So we'll probably... we'll probably keep the Giovanni in the pocket. We don't need to give him any more information than he needs. So we'll keep the Geo for the Aerodactyl. We'll just hope that he just sees that the 90 is enough, and I would imagine he's probably going to drop something. Man, this man's hand is bricked. This man's hand is absolutely bricked. Oh, without a doubt, user, for sure. A quick bait. That's why, man, like, you know, that's why it's just better just to hold your stuff. Hold your stuff until it matters. Right? Because now he thinks that it's enough, and then we just zoop. And then the GG. I feel like his hand was beyond bricked. It just seems it seems too weird that he didn't like put literally anything on board. It seemed very odd. But who knows? But who knows? Oh. So what do you guys think, man? 2025 is already getting crazy for us Pokemon collectors, huh? It's nuts. There's a lot going on. A lot going on with TikTok. A lot of people downloading that Red Book or Red Note or whatever. people learning Mandarin. People can't buy Prismatic. It's a crazy world out here. Yeah, it's crazy, man. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's a lot. Oh, please be a Magikarp in the back. Oh. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Apple. Hopefully you being around, just kind of chilling, make it a little bit easier. I feel that. It sucks. All right. So let's see here. Just give me 1 second here. So do that. I don't know why There we go. Now you can hear the music. That's probably been off the entire stream. Win a B-Box, $200 each. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's not good. All right, so we're going to do that, and then we're going to put that down so I don't get Sabrina'd. And honestly, there's really not much for me to do other than just load up on the old Amber and just start cracking skulls. Because like me having the him only there is really not going to do much. In this scenario, it's not going to do much. Let's see. Does he defy the odds? He does not defy the odds. So actually, yeah, he doesn't defy the odds. Because a Misty defies the laws of statistics. Can't wait to get my prismatic bulk. I know, dude. I was lucky to get 3 ETBs just for regular MSRP through one shop near me. And they honored it, which is fantastic. That's what they should do. But man, yeah, it's just hard out here. It's tough. But I think I might, I don't know. Depending on how my mood is, to be honest with you. I don't know if I'm gonna just open one and keep the other 2 sealed, or have my brain think, oh, keep going, it's in there. And every time I do that, I get upset, and I was like, I shouldn't have opened it. So that's normally why I like to buy, if I can, I like to buy 3 of them and then open one and then keep the other 2 sealed, just to scratch the itch, is normally what I like to do. And this man's going, oh, thought this man was about to pop off. All right, so let's see if he forgets. Let's see if we claim another victim of forgetting what Aerodactyl does. So we're just gonna keep him in. Doesn't matter. We're in it for the long haul. Because my guess is that he's gonna probably bring this I always forget the name. The worm, the snow worm. Snom. I bet he's gonna bring out Snom to try to evolve it. Here we go. Ready? Watch, chat. Watch. Here it goes. Here, I don't know. I don't know. Us TCG players cannot read cards. And now he's trying to slam the moth on down, and he's like, I can't do it. Why can't I do it? Why can't I slam moth? I don't know why I can't slam the moth. He's struggling right now. And he's gonna try to evolve it because he thinks that it's not gonna go away. He's still trying to slam it down. I guarantee it. He's trying to slam that smom down, or that moth. So now we go zoop. Then we go zoop. Then we go bye-bye energy. Hey, you guys get to see my cat. A little fake cat. So cute. A little miss. Alright, that's enough. Can't mute my stream. Any huge TCG events for you this year? I want to, man. I'm trying pretty hard to go to some more events in my area. One of the biggest ones I probably want to go to Collecticon in Jersey. Would be really cool to go to. But I'm still trying to figure out the logistics, because I got a lot of inventory that I'm starting to finally put like on my online store, and I just need to start selling it at the end of the day. So I definitely want to, for sure. But I'm still trying to feel out who is able to have a spot for me. I don't know why that was so difficult for me to say, but all right. So what do we do here? I think we just start. There's really not much pressuring me to not challenge the fact that you haven't evolved anything. So I'm just gonna start attacking it, see what happens. Do you sell whole sets based to like not like master sets if that's what you're talking about, but yeah, like I sell everything like on my website. If you go to galaxygamingtcg.com, on my website I have a ton of like stuff ranging from all over the place. But yeah, I sell a bunch of stuff. I'm slowly adding more to my online store too. Would I buy them? Yeah, for sure. I buy a lot of stuff. I love vintage. I love modern. I buy a good swell of different stuff, to be honest with you. And then this thing, we're gonna just, because if you, well, no, this still happens. But yeah, I would for sure. Okay. So you paralyze me by, so now I just win, I guess. All right, Hitmonlee coming in. What about you, Apple? You got anything anything big coming up? Got any big events coming up? I just I guess I don't know if you're here on Monday. I got these as, let me just shift to just chatting here. So here's some of the cards that I picked up recently as PSA 7s that I just released from their shackles. So we had the Charizard GX, the Cynthia, the Legendary Collection Seadra, the Articuno EX from Fire Red Leaf Green. That looks crazy in that light. Holy. Had the Armored Mewtwo. So I got it. And was that it? Yes, that was it. But had a bunch of those come in. So that was super cool. I have some other ones coming in too. I have like a Dusclops EX coming in that I'm releasing from the shackles. A Vaporeon EX, which was really cool, from Sandstorm. I'm pretty sure it was from Sandstorm. I like to have a wide range of stuff, of quality stuff. A range and quality is what I like. So far we've won. I'm trying to figure out what decks have been giving me a good. So this is 3 wins in a row with this deck. When you send my cards back, will they be grade ready? Yes, they would be. Like that, I like they'll be in like the proper sleeves and the proper top loaders, and they'll be like all of that. And then most likely with like the box that I'll bring it back to you in, it's basically just going to be basically up to you just to slap a label on it if you really wanted to. I am 3 in a row so far. So far, so good. And we're playing against a fighting deck, so you probably have a Hitmonlee in the front. So let's see if that's true. Marshadow. So this is not a good matchup, to be quite honest with you, because all of them are just basic. Yeah, and just for confirmation, Apple, it's not like when I go through the cleaning process and I submit them back to you, they're all gonna go in the same like semi-rigid top loaders. So they're not like, I'm not submitting these on your behalf to PSA. I'm sending them all back to you. So they'll all be in the same return order, if that makes sense. We can put you down here. I don't want to waste an energy on a Pidgey. And that way, if you retreat it, I can just still keep picking at it. Man, everyone's hands have been, like, bricked. If I pull a Pidgeotto, I just win. Damn. I can still pull it, but I was going to use Giovanni to give it the swift KO. Because we have a potion. We're chilling. We are chilling. Because we are going to... So let's see. So we have to potion here. Because what's going to be upsetting... So the Hitmonlee has to go out. For specs on the back of a card, what should I do? Well, first, I think you're a sub. So thank you for subbing, Angel. And second off, if it's a spec, I would try just using a... just a microfiber cloth to start. Try to get it off that way. If that doesn't help, then using a microfiber cloth or a Q-tip with some distilled water, you can do it that way. But that's what I would do. And if you can't get rid of it, then you just have to kind of cut your losses at that point. And Angel, if you're here, just out of curiosity, can you use the emotes? Because it says you're a sub on my end. Because I just updated all the emotes on TikTok. That'd be kind of cool if you could. Yeah, sounds good, Apple. No, you're good. I just saw, I thought from my end, because it's so bad, because like I only see like the what's it called? The like icon, that the icon is so close to what the sub icon looks like from my perspective. I just don't know, because I don't have that many. So okay. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna put you over here to have you know that I have a Aerodactyl as well. We can go toe for toe here. Ah. Okay, so the Aerodactyl is going to KO my Hitmonlee. So the one thing that we can still do... but we can't evolve. Or no, because no, we can't evolve. That's the problem. I think this is over, chat, to be quite honest with you. We would have to have an X speed, I believe, for this to work. Because if I put the old Amber out, it's GG. We basically just need an X speed. Well, you ask and you shall receive, chat. Believe in the heart of the cards. Believe in the heart of the cards. That's crazy. But we still have a pretty lengthy battle here, because he still has the Mars Shadow in the back, which I think, and he's got two of them now. So now he's gonna hit me with that. Because is there a world that I win this? I don't, because if I attack the Aerodactyl with my Aerodactyl, the Mars Shadow just sweeps. Because I would have to... Well, let's see what happens. So I would have to drive off So he's going to bring in the healthy Marshadow. So the healthy one comes in. We do this. We just at least get us another turn to figure out if there's anything that we can do. I really don't think that there's much to do because he's gonna retreat back for the Aerodactyl. I think it is over. Let's see. Hitmonlee. Yeah, I think it's GG's, unfortunately. That was a good effort, but just that I knew going into that deck was gonna just steamroll me. Because if it was all just basics. All basics. Aerodactyl kind of fumbles a little bit. Let's play with... Let's see. One deck I've actually been trying, I just started to kind of mess with today, was this one. So we'll see if this one gives us any fun results here. Because I really been liking the Flebebe. Has been fun. You guys can see my kitty cat. Oh, I was trying to pick her up. She didn't like that. But the win streak is dead. But this is good. Three in a row. So let's see. So the initial idea with this one was that in most cases you're going to lead with a Mewtwo that kind of walls for you, and then you have the Flabebe line basically heal the wall. Because I mean, I could play Gardevoir or whatever. I just don't like to be quite honest with you. I kind of find it a schnoozer. I don't really play a lot of the meta decks that hard, to be honest. Okay, so he's got that bad boy. So if we load this up, he's going to start cracking for 70. And we really don't need that to happen right off the rip. But we'll see. So there's really not much we can do here. Because it'll just be 30. Whatever. That's the correct play. That's the correct play. And honestly, like these decks specifically, I was running red card before in like the one where I have the double Hitmonlee, because so many people will be so hesitant to put stuff in the bench that it keeps it in their hand. I found it a little bit too. I think red card's just so inconsistent because like you're basically just filling in an extra slot for something at completely chance. You can try to, you can try to optimize it and whatever, like based off their hand size, but there's so many instances where I give them what they needed, like often. And it's not good. It's not good doing that. All right, so we pretty much have the line. The Pidgeot EX with 2 Mew. Yeah, dude, that's so good. Mew is such a good tank. It's good that we don't have to just rely on Weezing Koga, to be honest. It's kind of nice to have now like Mew that has so much more ground that it can cover. Okay. So here's what we do. So we still don't need to give it any more than it needs to. And we're just going to start poking at it. Again, there's no reason for me to commit anything to the bench. I don't need to give that thing more attack than it needs to. And there it is. And again, this Florges is good on its own. Is good on its own. Don't need to retreat it, so we're just gonna do that. do that. Let's see what we get. Leaf and a slab. I'm not desperate for any psychics, so I'm just chilling. And then we'll heal the Sylph or the Sig. I was thinking Sylphco. That's what's nice about this card, man. It's so good. It just starts to like heal the stuff that you had in the lead, and right now it's not really showing any threat, so I don't really like need to give it more damage. And I think the its evolution is what, 90? Yeah. Yeah. I didn't need to fuel it for a weird reason, you know. But yeah, if you guys definitely play this game, definitely keep your eye out in Discord, because I have a really fun thing that I want to do with community members to like play against you guys in a really interesting format. I'm gonna say it like that because I don't want my idea being stolen, to be quite honest with you. I think it's a really unique one. But the finishing touches are not yet done, so I think it'd be really fun to have like a community day where I just play against you viewers and stuff. Going first, we got the line. But I'm going first with a... Oh, okay. Whew. Dude, I'm addicted to this game. I'm not even gonna front, to be honest with you. Okay, let's see. Get a free research here. Okay, so I have... So I'm protected against Sabrina, which is good with the X speed. And we're just gonna, because it's tough for me. It's tough for me to like have a fun game to play that's like engaging and that I'm like really into. That I can like still talk with you guys on. I've been loving Pocket. It's been so much fun to play. I love TCGs. And it's nice too, because like this game specifically, I can always kind of, you know, I think the needle leans more towards luck than it does skill. It is still a very skill intensive like game to a degree. But yeah, there is still an element of luck that is like, oh, I lost because of someone flipped 6 waters on Misty. Right? So it's kind of like, it's kind of nice in that regard. All right, so I don't give them points, but then I guess have one less just in case we get red carded. Doesn't really matter. Black Ops 6 lately I haven't played COD since MW4. My KD is 212. Dang, that's pretty good. I played Modern Warfare, like the was it MW2 when it came out, and it was not like MW2 like how I remember. So I stopped playing it, which is unfortunate, but that's good. Put their kids in their place, man. The kids who like mainline G Fuel all day every day when their hearts are about to explode at like 30. Okay, so you're rocking, you got the Ivysaur. Oh, I wonder what you're about to bring out. Ooh. You kind of burned a... I mean, I guess he doesn't know that I have it, right? But... Well, I'm 32. So I feel it. I feel you. But the games that I really miss, dude, it's been so sad because there's an account that my algorithm has found that I really like, which is like Halo 2, Halo 3 nostalgia. And it sometimes gets sad, to be quite honest with you, to like look back at like Halo 2, Halo 3 multiplayer. And man, I loved Halo, like in Reach. Oh, So good. I go back to Master Chief Collection often on PC and just plug a controller in and just play. But it's sad because like the only things that are even active in Master Chief Collection anymore is just like Big Team, and that's pretty much it. But all right, so far this deck has been good, but I think we've been pretty lucky the last two. We're currently at a 2. Dude, I loved LAN parties, man. That's honestly probably one of the reasons why I even switched to Xbox, because my buddy at the time, his dad, legitimately worked for Microsoft. Like, I know like all the kids like, oh, my dad works for Microsoft, I can ban you or whatever. Like, this guy's dad actually worked for Microsoft, and he had like, he knew computers at the time and whatever, and he set up a LAN party for Halo Combat Evolved, so like the first Halo. And it blew my mind that you could have 2 TVs but 8 people playing at the same time versus just like split screen around one. And the cool thing was that his dad had 2 projectors, so they're like, he set the projectors so that our backs were like facing towards each other, and so we couldn't screen peek each other. And we were playing 4v4s, and it was like the first time I ever stayed up as a kid. I was like, however that was like 8, probably I was like elementary school, 8 or 9, to where I stayed up like as late as I ever have at that time, which was like 3 or 4 o'clock, that we're just up playing like literally all night. Screen peekers, man. Screen peekers were a real thing. Cheaters, that's what they were. All right, so we got the line again. And we're just gonna chip, I guess. Chip for free. There's nothing else we need. But I remember that, dude. It'd be so funny, like some of the heated arguments that we'd get for like having each other screen peek and stuff was so funny. It's like, dude, like I knew you're screen peeking, like in a serious tone. You know what I mean? It was so funny. Oh yeah, everyone did. I screen peek. Are you kidding me? I still remember it. Sometimes on lockout, dude. If someone says that they've never screen peeked, those are the type of people that you should be very afraid of, because there is no shot that you were not screen peeking. Absolutely no shot that you weren't doing it. It's almost a guarantee that everyone has at least screen peeked at least once. And for context of what I'm doing, I'm trying not to load my bench because I don't know if he has a Pidgeotto X yet or not. I'm waiting to see what he drops now, because if he doesn't drop anything, I'm going to be in a very significant lead because there's no Pidgeotto yet. And he's only had the 1 energy on that. Yeah, so it's pretty much just going to be just me now loading everything. Dude, I remember some people were suggesting like using like cardboard, like cardboard, and then putting like a blank, yeah, the blanket, putting the blanket over. Yep, you're getting it, Apple. You're my people for sure. For sure. All right. We don't really need anything right now. I can use an X speed. We're just big chilling. Get some health back. My cat's just like staring off into space. So now is when we're going to start hitting some slabs. And the concede. There it is, chat. 3 in a row. But alright, guys. That's going to be it. I don't know. I genuinely have no idea what's going to happen on the 19th. I really don't. So if you guys are not following me, this is like, normally I wouldn't do something like this, but I feel like I have to. In case the TikTok thing goes through, like fully goes through, make sure to check out all my other stuff in my link tree. That's like my link in bio. Like, YouTube, Discord, Instagram. I'm gonna have Twitch here soon. I gotta get that set up. But for 2.1 million, I feel like, are you talking about, or are you saying billion with a B? Because I feel like 2.1 million is not that much money. I'm imagining you're probably thinking billion, or what you meant to say. But yeah, but just in case, legitimately, just in case, follow all that fun stuff. So you can, if you want to stick around and keep seeing me and whatever, I got some really fun, cool stuff in the works. I'm gonna have some playing with chat in Pokemon Pocket. I have a new streaming setup getting made and built for like more online sales and like kind of doing like claim sales because there's been a demand. And Apple, like I said, once I pick up your stuff on Saturday, I'll let you know when I start cleaning that, and I'll make sure to stream it and everything like that too. So yeah, appreciate you guys hanging out. Thanks for all the love, support. Yeah, you're good, Apple. I'll definitely message you. Just shoot me a DM on Discord if you don't mind, so it floats up to the top of my inbox so I remember, if you don't mind, please. But yeah, I'm gonna be picking it up on Saturday. I already have it scheduled. But yeah, appreciate you guys as always. And I'll see you wherever the hell I'll see you. I don't know if it's gonna be here, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram. I don't know yet. Like Redbook, whatever that everyone's like learning Mandarin on. Yeah, so I appreciate you guys as always, and I will see you in the next one. All right, still back here, episode 51 on Wednesday, streaming more, card cleaning, all that fun stuff. So